I have taught you this lesson. I taught you this lesson. Are the two sentences same? No, they are not, because I have made use of two different tenses. So if tenses makes you tensed, then this video is for you, because after watching this video, you will gain more confidence in the usage of present perfect tense. Welcome, I'm Shashi Prabha, Professor at B&M Institute of Technology. In today's lesson, we are focusing on present perfect tense. You will learn what is present perfect tense, different situations in which you can use present perfect tense, difference between present perfect and simple past tense. It is good to know and be aware of regular and irregular verbs and time words in order to understand this topic better. I will explain this briefly. What is present perfect tense? The present perfect is a verb tense used to express a past event that has an influence on the present. And why is it important? Well, it gives us a variety and choice in speech. It enriches our language and it creates an element of reality of the time factor. Let's look at this example. I have lost the password. I cannot log into the system. So the past action is influencing my present state of being. So you see that there is a connection between the past and the present. This is present perfect tense. Let's look at the structure of the present perfect tense. In order to form the present perfect tense of a verb, it is important to use the present form of the verb to have. So that is have or has plus the past participle form of the main verb. The past participle form of the main verb is also called the third form of the verb or the V3 form of the verb. Let's look at this example. You have finished your assignment. So if you look at the word finished, this is the past participle of the main verb. Can you tell me which is the main verb or the base form of the verb? Finished? Yes, you're right. It is finish. So we make use of the third form with a have or a has. Now this is an affirmative sentence. The next one is an interrogative sentence, and this is how we form the interrogative sentence. Have you finished your assignment? You have not finished your assignment. This is a negative sentence, which I can also say you haven't finished your assignment. Have and not, the contraction form is haven't. Now present perfect tense with regular verbs. This is the structure which we use to form the regular verbs. Now regular verbs and irregular verbs, they're two different entities. Regular verb is formed with the main verb and the ed in it. So subject plus have or has plus a past participle form of the verb with an ed. I have listened to the talk carefully. Now can you tell me which is the base form of the verb listened? Yes, it is listen. Past tense of listen, listened. Past participle of listen is also listened. So this is where the confusion arises. But remember that in present perfect tense, we make use of the third form of the verb, which is always accompanied by an auxiliary verb, that is have or has. You have entered the final round. We have mesmerized the audience. They have played a game with us. He has accepted the offer. She has drafted the letter. So I've made use of different subjects, I, you, we, they, he, she. So you can see how the auxiliary verb changes when it's conjugated with the subjects. Now when we use irregular verbs to form present perfect tense, this is the structure. Subject plus have or has plus past participle of the main verb. Now if you notice, there is no ed form because these words cannot take the ed. Let's look at these examples. I have found the meaning. Now can you tell me what's the main verb or the base form of the verb found? Yes, you're right. It is find. The past tense is found and the past participle is also found, but it is conjugated with have. You have told the truth. We have seen the outcome. They have run the marathon. He has grown in life. She has seen the actor. This is a very important point. Remember not to use a specific or finished time word with the present perfect tense. It would be incorrect to say, I have walked on this path yesterday. Now, yesterday denotes that the time period is over, and according to that, the action should have ended. But here, it is not. I have walked on this path. The correct form would be, I have walked on this path recently. I can use words like recently. I can use words like I have never walked on this path. I can also say I have always walked on this path. But I'm not going to use any word which gives a past, which gives a word which gives the finished time. Unspecific time. Now let us discuss about different situations in which you can make use of present perfect tense. The first situation is unspecific time. To describe an action when time is not an important aspect. Let's look at the examples. She has lost her wedding ring. I don't know when. We have eaten lasagna in this restaurant. Sometime, I'm not sure when. Now, we can also use unspecific time for talking about life experiences. The situations could be this: have you ever eaten a crab? And I will answer it as, I have never eaten a crab. Tell me something that you have never done. I have never experienced skydiving. So do you see the structure? The third form of the verb is always accompanied by have or has, no matter what, whether it's a question or an affirmative statement or a negative statement. Now, situation 2. Now, I can make use of present perfect tense when I'm talking about repeated action. To describe an action that is being repeated between the past and the present until now. Let's look at these examples. We have gone to the beach many times, so the action may still continue. She has driven down this road twice. She might do it many more times. Situation 3. The action continuing in the present. Now, to describe an action that started in the past and is still continuing, we can make use of present perfect tenses. I have lived in the United States since 1990, and I'm continuing to live there. I have taught in this institution for 7 years. I continue to teach. Situation 4. When unfinished period of time. When I want to, I can use the present perfect tense when I'm mentioning an unfinished period of time. It has rained a lot this month. So this month has not ended. So the rains could continue. She has watched that show 3 times this week. This week has not ended. Situation 5. The recent past. When I want to talk about the recent past, I make use of present perfect tenses to describe an action that was completed in the recent past. So these are the words usually used with this: just and already. Let's look at examples. She has already finished her internship, so she's ready to take up a job. They have just arrived, right? So it's a recent past. Difference between simple past and present perfect tense. This is a very important note, and you can record this because you'll be coming across this on and off. We visited Hawaii last week. We have visited Hawaii several times this year. Now, what is the difference between these two sentences? We visited Hawaii last weekend. So here, the action is over as well as the time period is over, has ended. In the second sentence, we have visited Hawaii several times this year. So this year has not yet ended. So I could visit Hawaii again. So this is the difference between simple past and the present perfect tense. The first sentence is the simple past tense, which is talking about a completed action, whereas the second sentence is trying to draw a connection between the past and the present. So it always implies something more. Here there is a short quiz. Complete the sentences with the past participle form of the verbs given in the brackets. So take a minute, pause your video and complete the sentences. Then you can compare your answers. Thank you. I hope now tenses don't make you tensed.